It's spring equinox today. It's March 20th. The sun has moved into the constellation of Aries, and we are at equal day and night. And we're at that interesting time where our fall garden has, these were greens, this is tatsoi I planted in the fall, is all bolting. It's going to seed, which is great. And there's still some food here for a salad garden, like that. And then here's a mustard. Down there, the white flowers are arugula. But soon there won't be any usable salad, so it's time to plant more. And this time of year is just the perfect time to do that. So I'm going to demonstrate a few of these things. I've made a couple furrows with my planting hoe, a Warren hoe, which is a really nice triangular shaped tool I'll demonstrate more of in a second. So I'm going to start off with planting some bush peas. These are sugar daddy peas. We grow and sell these here at Siskiyou Seeds. I've labeled everything here, and I'm going to show how I plant it. So I've made a furrow. Peas, you want to plant about 1 inch or 2 deep, so I'm spacing these out. These are a bush pea. They get about 24 to 30 inches tall. You don't really need to trellis them. And you can see I'm just sprinkling them about every 3 to 4 inches. They do have little tendrils and they'll hold on to themselves pretty well. One of the things you'll notice over next to me, I've got some sugar snap peas that are already coming up, and I cover them with row cover because all kind of birds, including my own chickens and ducks, want to eat young, fresh pea shoots. And that means no peas for us. So if you don't have row covers, you can use some bird netting or hardware cloth, something like that. But you'll probably want to protect them. And as I'm planting, we can hear the stellar jays letting their friends know that I'm planting peas here. And I'm going to have to outsmart them in order to have peas. And that's, I've said it before, and I think it bears repeating, is the best fertilizer is the gardener's own shadow. And for Siskiyou Seeds, we get a lot of emails and customer service inquiries of, I planted peas or I planted carrots and nothing came up. And I always, if I'm the one responding, ask like, well, have you been out there watching what's happening? You know, go out first thing in the morning and see who's in your garden, whether it's slugs or birds, because everything in nature eats. So this nice 40-foot bed of peas will make a lot of food for us. And cover that one up to show how I do that. So this tool I like because it's lightweight. You don't really use this for weeding so much, but for making a furrow for planting. And then I can just go along and use this same tool to cover up those peas. You can see I'm not being overly careful because peas are a big enough seed. Well, they'll push up through a 1/2 inch of dirt, 1 inch of dirt, maybe even 2 inches of dirt. But the key is I got to cover them to keep the moisture in there and protect them. And now we just wait. So peas are about a 50 to 60 day crop. So next I'm going to plant some spinach. And for this, there's 2 different ways to do it. I'll demonstrate both. And I've done this before. I can make a crease, and that helps the seeds line up. And spinach can be about 1 inch apart or so. And then when it's time to harvest, you can either harvest leaves or whole plants. Sometimes I'll transplant it, but you can see how fast this is. If you don't feel like you can do this technique alternately, you can just put some in your hand. Whoops. And just sprinkle it, kind of rolling it between your fingers. Some folks I know like just how the seeds feel. And you can see I'm planting it pretty thick. I just want to make sure I have a nice row of spinach. And I'm going to stop there. That's enough spinach for this succession. Spinach is something that bolts in the heat, so you don't want to overdo it. And then I'm going to switch for the rest of this row. And this is called Morton's Mix, after my friend Frank Morton. And I'm not going to hammer that in. I'm going to lay it down because I'm going to cover this with row cover when I'm done. So this is a mixture of all different lettuce. Frank Morton has developed a few hundred varieties of lettuce, and this is his breeding pool. So I'm planting this thick for like a cut and come again salad garden, where you just come out here with scissors and cut leaves instead of whole heads. And you can see how fast this is. And voila, just like that. So this one, lettuce seed being smaller, I want to be a little more careful about how I cover it. So I'm going to...
What about the spinach?
Yeah, same thing as spinach. As a general rule, you plant seeds twice as deep as they are long. So instead of walking along at a faster rate, I'm looking for the seed. I'm trying to cover the spinach about a 1/2 inch deep. And obviously I've done this before, so I'm not out here with a ruler measuring. Depending on the tilt of your soil, this soil had a lot of organic matter in it, so it's a little clumpy still, which is fine. If you over-till your soil, you're really destroying your soil biota and all the worms.
What do you mean by over-till?
Like if I wanted to get this to a powdery dust, that's just, it's too much. Okay, so that's all. Oh, I gotta get to the end. Lettuce and spinach, and now I'm going to demonstrate how I use this. Next I'm going to plant mesclun mix, which is a mixture of mustards and Swiss chard, cress, arugula, and orac. And we sell both a mild mix and a spicy mix, because there are mild mustards and spicy mustards. And then here, I really like cilantro, so on this side I'm going to plant cilantro. And cilantro is another thing, much like everything I'm planting here, that you're going to want to grow if you want a continual supply. Successions. So here's our March 20th succession. In about 2 weeks, it would be a good idea to plant more of all this, and maybe that's what I'll do with this next bed, so that we have a, once these are bolting or we've eaten them, we have more. So I'm just trying to plant this cilantro about 1 every inch or 2. If you plant stuff too close together, it competes with one another. If you don't plant it close enough, then I feel like you're wasting the room in your garden. Okay, so that's that. Cilantro for the future. And then here, I'm using an old seed packet because I reuse them. But you can see this mesclun mix has got a variety of different seeds in it. But no lettuces, because I find this stuff bolts faster, so I like to grow my lettuce for salads and the mixed greens separately. And the other thing you can do with mesclun mix is it makes a pretty good braising mix to lightly steam or stir fry and have with other ingredients. So there's that, and we'll cover it and all good. And you can see how fast. So this is a 3-foot wide bed, 40 feet long, so there's 120 square feet. So in 10 minutes, you know, obviously I spent some time doing soil prep, but in 10 minutes I just planted 120 square feet of peas and greens. And that's going to be a lot of salads and maybe some spanakopita and nice meals. So you can do the same thing too. We've got seeds for all these things, and remember to do successional plantings and watch out for other things eating it. And hopefully we'll come back here when the first weeds come up and identify what we've planted and weed it well so we get a crop. So happy growing and happy spring to you.